On this model, we are going to cover all the stages to animate a run cycle on a quadruped game character from scratch. We're going to start from the basic of setting the reference speed, and for that we are going to create the run cycle by layering the information, starting from the body, to the legs, head, and finishing with the secondary movement on the tail and ears. We'll work briefly on the graph editor to clean all the curves and make them more fluid, and also fix all the loops. To finish, we'll add some more subtle extra movement to the animation with the use of animation layers. There's a lot of cover on this module, so let's start it. Okay, so this is our model, the one we're going to be animating, but we're not going to be animating on this file. We need to create a new one and use as a reference. So that's how you do it. You come here, reference, and then you load it. The way any change we do, we're not gonna change the model, so we don't need to worry. Another thing we need to take care is to check the playback time. Here it's saying 24, usually it's the default, so you come here, you need to put on 30, and also it's important to see if it's the playback, it's on real time. I think the default is play every frame, so real time, and we're good to go. Usually when you change, it moves here, so just put a 1. And we are going to create our ground. The way I used to do it is, instead of animating the character forward, I animate the ground backward, and it keeps in place. The way it's easier to understand what's happening, like the movement on the spine, on the center of gravity, and all the smaller details. So the thing that I do is I create a small cube. Just zero this. It needs to be wide enough for the pause. And I duplicate sometimes. So now we have our ground. Frame 1 to frame, I don't know, 20, it can be. You will define this later. Another thing that I like to set up is the auto key feature. This guy here. The nice thing is that when I move it, it creates automatically one key. So I don't need to keep pressing S every time. The problem right now is that the ground is accelerating. It gets to a normal speed and then decelerates. So we go to the graph editor. Animation, graph editor. This guy here. So here's what's happening. Select and make it linear. So that way it keeps a constant speed. But it ends here. So let's fix animation, graph editor. You can set it to be infinite. There's 2 ways to make it infinite. You can use the needs to be a little bigger. Wait for it. Yeah, there's some hotkeys here. Here's one that extends to the post animation, or you can come here and post infinity and put in linear. That way it will keep increasing even after the key. See? If this change, like this abrupt change in the end, annoys you, you can make even bigger. But I think that's it. That's our setup of the scene. We can continue on the next one with the starting animating, start blocking it. Okay, so now we can start posing our characters. If you do a Google search, you can find a really nice sets of pose. Look for pictures, okay? Don't look for drawings or other animations, because if they do a mistake, you'll just follow the same mistake. Pictures are better. So if you pay attention to those cats running, there's some moments where it's really squashes down, like it becomes really small, and there are some moments where it stretches. So I'm gonna start with those two, those main poses. So you can use the side view, or you can use the perspective. Doesn't matter. I prefer the perspective, but I'm gonna use the side to look it easier. It's easier to understand what's happening. First thing, you need to save a key on each controller you're saving, even if it's the auto key selected. The first key you need to set. Okay. So let's make this stretched one. Don't worry with the knee breaking or the elbow breaking. It's not a problem right now. So this one, he's gonna to be landing. It's gonna land with the left palm first. Right one gonna be almost reaching. You don't need to be precise right now. Just need to I don't want to select bones or meshes. Okay. You can also use groups to not make them selectable. I can make this and it's not selectable anymore. So this is gonna be in there. Save a key. It's gonna be stretching. It's going downward, so the body's a little leaning forward. Did I save key? Yes. Oh, I didn't hear. Key. Key, okay. This is also in there. I will not worry with the tail right now, just the main parts like paws and the body itself. Okay, so this is the first. You don't need to set up as a not spline animation. If you just use the next key, it's fine. So we save it. Okay, and the stretch one on the not the stretch, the contracting one. This guy's gonna be smaller. You can move a little. You can cheat a little with the bones. It's okay. So this is going right forward. Oops, wrong. Let me take off the grid. Okay, it's better to see. And I think that's better, right? So this is going forward, backwards. Don't worry if the mesh is getting one inside the other. Okay. And this is also going backwards, but not that much. Maybe here is fine. I'm gonna make this smaller. So I had the stretched one. Not yet. Okay, the stretching. I will fix that later. Okay. Now back to perspective. Let me hide the ground. grounds. Not needed for now. It's also going forward. You are going inside. So we're more inside. Oops. Wrong controller. Okay. So we're doing this really rough. Okay, let's do a little of the head too. Usually the head is always looking forward. He's a predator. Stretch it. You can also move a little. Right now, if you see, it's stretching too much the bone. You need to go to the limit where it starts to bending like this. Here it's fine. Let me zero this. Okay, I think it's a good start. We'll have the two main poses. Then we're gonna make the next lesson. I'm gonna make the other two contrasting with this. Okay, see you guys in the next lesson. Okay, welcome back. Continue on those poses. I'm gonna do the more intermediary poses. So I'm gonna move this to the third position. To move it, just press with shift and you can move it. Okay, so I wanna select everything, not just that one. Okay, so I want to. Why did it move? Okay, let's do it again. Sorry for that. It already making the in between, but it's not exactly how I want it. So this guy is gonna be moving, and this one is gonna be reaching forward. Don't worry, it's fixable. Sort of stretching the contracting one. Zeroing out. Okay, look, reach forward. Don't worry in moving your bones a little. It's fine. Remember that if you keep extremely real, it will look a little slow. So you need to exaggerate. Where's my elbow controller? Here. Let me use this. It's easier. Okay, it's saved. Okay, I want to add some contrast on those two. They're on the same place. I don't want them to move exactly at the same pace. So I'm gonna delay one of them. This is stretching. A little weird. Okay, better. Outside. Usually, if you want to make more real, they land with the more with the tip. But I want to make it a little more visible, so I'll put the opposite. So what's happening? This one is a little forward because it's a little delayed, and there's also delayed here, so now it's backwards. And then they're coming to the front. That's the moment that it reaches. Maybe I should have made it reaching earlier. Yeah, I will replace this. Okay, so right mouse button, delete, shift here, and move to that position. Yeah. Also want this one to be reaching the ground. So this is supposed to be the extreme opposite of this. So you are a little delayed. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna doing this one is going down, so I'm gonna make the one that's going up. So this one is right on the ground. It's going backwards. We're finishing our movement backwards. And you are going forwards. So I have stretched it, getting on the ground. Forgot the keys on this one. There's some weird thing happening here. Okay. Maybe it could be more backwards. You're almost there. It's a lot of trial and error. Sometimes you need to keep testing to see if it works or not. 0. So now I have those poses like the first contact, second, give it a stretch. More. Second contact, then the third one with the back leg and the stretching. Could make it more stretching. You're looking forward. That's it. I'll keep evolving this in the next capture chapters. Hi guys, continue from our left. We started the poses and now we're gonna blocking the timing. So we're gonna get our ground back and start to slowly work with the ground speed. Now we need to increase random number here. Just need space to work. So what we need to pay attention is the speed of the palm moving on the ground. So right now we see it's really fast. So I'm gonna start moving it too slow. It don't need to be precise in this stage, okay? We're gonna refine it later. Just want something close. So 3 frames. Let's put this 3 frames to kind of work. Let me see on this. Let me follow this one. I'm using the size of the ground as a reference, so I'm using this one and this controller. Okay, catch up. Yeah. One thing that's happening, it's accelerating and decelerating. So if we look on our graph editor, we could get this. Like that, so it will not decelerate anymore. So it keeps a more stable movement. Then we need to copy this one. Wait. Let's try this. Looking really weird right now, but it's okay. Just worried about the movement on the ground. So I'm going slowly getting those pawns to move linear. So between this, I want it linear. So it's more or less in the middle. And here it's a little on the front, but it's still okay. Let's check this one. It starts on the end, kind of still in the same place. Okay, now we can start playing with this. I don't like this. Let's fix. It's too much. Notice that I'm still keeping the same keys. I'm not creating any new ones. Just trying to make this work better. Okay, let's start refining the pawns. Okay, right now it reaches on an angle and it takes like 3 frames. We don't want this. We want it to get a right on the next frame to hit the floor. Then we try to keep the same distance with the ground. Okay, let's continue. Next one. Yeah, here I made a. I just copied the because I don't want it to stay still. Coming. Here's gonna hit the ground. No, it's this rotation that I want. Yeah. Hit the ground, and I need to fix the movement. Oh, it's going too slow. Really, really slow. I'm gonna get everything and give one more frame. So it's here. Should be around here. Now I'm starting to create new keys. I'll try to keep this as a minimum possible, so I don't get too confusing right in the beginning. But in the end, we're gonna have one key on each, one saved key on each frame. It's not this. It's on the feet. Rotate X. Like that, and it's still on the ground. Okay, there's a movement here that I don't like. On this and the next frame, I think it would be better if it continues a little bit movement forward. So I could have come fix each of the frames, or I can use the graph editor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the translation Z, the blue one. Okay, I'm gonna isolate it and get from the frame that I want. Let's put a frame here. Then I'm gonna move just him. That keeps the same distance. Now we can stretch this one a little more. It looks really mechanical right now because we are not adding too much frames. We will keep breaking the animation on the following ones. Let me do it on this side. Okay, so it's hitting on this frame is one I want. Plant to the ground, no rotation X. Now I check the distance. It's in the middle here. It's in the middle. Yeah. The work is it's a little hard to know. It's important if you to keep the movement going, to keep it believable. I don't like this pose. Let me copy this to the first one. Starting to look better. Last one. Again, you don't need to be precise on this one, okay? You may need to make some changes depending on the movement you do on the body. It may change the pose, so you don't need to be precise on this one. Keep working layers. Okay, so this is the moment it hits the ground. Next frame, I want rotation X 0. Okay, so it hits in the end. Okay, here is not okay. Should be around here. I'm gonna press S because I just moved on the Z axis, and it just makes a key. The auto key just makes a key on Z. Let me show. If you check all the curves, they're just 1 point because I just move it on one axis. If I press S, it will add a lot of them. The reason of that is because on the next one I want to rotate it. If I don't do that, when I rotate this frame is gonna be a little rotated, so I need to fix. This makes it a little easier. So try to keep now the tip the same place. So these are rotating a lot. Something like that. And don't worry with the ankle. We'll fix later. This guy here. Okay, fix now. Let me take out the nerve curve so we can see what's happening. Okay, right now I think it could have more squash and stretch on the body, like the body squashing on the down position and stretching more on the up, like squashing more here, stretching more here. Okay. And I think it could have some kind of indication of the movement with the head. I know it's a predator and it's always looking to the prey, but you can also use the nose to guide the movement. We're gonna do that later. One thing that I don't like it's the left, the back legs are pushing on the same place. I don't want this to happen. So let me fix this before finishing this lesson. So here they're fine. One is coming first, but then they hit the ground. So what I can do, I can make this one happen earlier. Which kind of fix. Or I can do the opposite. Let's try the opposite. Just undoing. I can also delay this one. Could stretch a little more. Makes better pose. Okay, I think we have our timing working with the ground. And we can worry more in refining the poses and checking all the tangents. Okay guys, I think for this lesson it's done. We continue on the next one. Welcome back guys, we're gonna continue the animation here. Right now we're gonna add we're gonna break this robotic movement by adding some changes on our cycle. Instead of making it all perfect, we're gonna break it a little, like making the character move a little to the side or doing some different movements. We're also gonna work on the neck and a little on the head. So let's start it. What I want is to make the neck indicate what's happening. So before going down, the neck goes a little down, then it goes up before the body. Now I'm gonna move the head. Since it's for the game that it's a top-down view, it's important. You can make a little more effort to make it more visible. Like it's fine if you can. It's still believable if you don't see the eyes, but it looks more pleasing. So you can exaggerate a little, make it look upward. If you look on the side, it may look a little strange, but when you look on the top view, it will look really nice. Now the head is gonna lead the movements. Let's check the graph editor. Let's copy this one. That's because our neck is compensating the movement from the neck. Seems fine. No, it doesn't look fine for me. Let's make a little more subtle. One thing that you can do, it's nice to track the head. You can create a locator. There's our locator. Move it to the front. Parenting him to the controller. You just click, press B, and you need to save a key to work. And then you track it. This is the motion path in the animation, in the animate menu, and that will keep you showing the movement that the nose is doing. But now seems fine. It's just that the head is doing a little pop here. Okay, we'll look upward. Let's bring back our graph editor. See what's happening. You can select and press F, so make it bigger. this stretch a little. Maybe it's too much. Okay, let's start adding the small rotation in X. Isolated. Copy the key. Okay, this is going forward too fast. I'm gonna slow down a little. Select this one. And move this one backwards. Oh. Fix. Same thing as I said before. And I want to move all of this a little forward. So I keep the same distance between those keys. Also delay one of the legs. This one here. Much better. I think I'm gonna add a couple more frames here on everything. Oh, let me take off the... Okay. Couple more frames in there. That was too much. Go back. I need to stretch. I need to do it, everything. Okay. That's much better. Okay, let's do the same thing we did with the body, with the head. gives more personality. And I want this front one to not stay. Okay, it is low in here. So let's check the keys. Probably here. Here's the problem. Much better. Really stretching too much? Yeah, it is. Always try to avoid extreme stretching like that. Just you can go there and go back just a little. So it doesn't look like it's forcing the elbow on the opposite side. Let's see how it's looking. Okay, I think this leg could be a little less contracted. Back to review. Let's fix again. You're fine. Oops. Not you. Okay, the translate X should be constant here. I think I'm gonna do like the other instead of going out. Go from inside.